Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Defense Up. I'm your incestuous instigator of ISO 8's Run 7. How you doing? Today, we're doing two videos, and I'm going to show you one end of the spectrum and then the other end of the spectrum as far as coming into war and what you do at the far end after you've unlocked Doom and you're starting to enter that endgame meta. So on the beginning, we're doing Mr. Bargain's defense. He is just getting into war right now, and you'll see what he's done on screen here. So we grade on 5 things. We grade on who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISO 8, and what kind of mood I'm in. And team number 1, you can see, is a whole bunch of shield guards. This is the thing to do. When you first unlock war, you want to put just nothing but shield guards in here. And if you have some extras, like a 20k Spider-Man laying around, you throw him in there. It makes it so that people can't just go in with absolute trash. And of course, in where his alliance is, I'm guessing it's probably like gold 1 or something, maybe even silver. Where his alliance is, they don't have a lot of offenses to work with. And so they do have to pick and choose. They're going to have to take in 1 or 2 characters. Maybe they're idiots and they don't realize that you can bring in 1 or 2 characters and they bring in a whole team of 5 to beat this Spider-Man. But they're going to see this power level and maybe they'll bring in a team of 5 that amounts to 34k and not realize that all 5 of their people can't beat this one dodgy little Spider-Man, and you can get a victory out of it. That is at the entry level of war. So this is actually, believe it or not, this is actually a B+ team. I know, right? You're thinking this is trash. It's trash. Well, it is trash. It's garbage. But this is what you do in the beginning. Let's go to team number 2. Whoops. Really? I want that. Thank you. Okay, team number 2. So here is a little bit better than a B+. He's using 2 characters. The problem is that these 2 characters have absolutely 0 synergy. What you can do with your shield guard entry-level teams is take 2 characters that have some sort of synergy that are about 10, 15, 20k each and put them in there. And your overall TCP is not going to look like much, but those 2 characters, especially with their synergy, are going to screw some people up in the entry level. Again, this is a B+ team probably. If these 2 guys had some sort of synergy and ISOs, by the way, ISO level 1 on everybody you use, this would be, I would give you an A for this. You'd be doing it right. Team number 3, again, here's a Deadpool. If you could get Domino in here, that would be fantastic. Even better would be a low-level Drax, Domino, and Deadpool, right? Then you've got these 2 guys who are splashing and AoE attacks, and you wouldn't be able to, you'd put Deadpool in the middle and he wouldn't die because Domino would be there, that sort of thing. You'd get some value out of it. Again, this is just a B team because you're not really getting much use out of Deadpool. He's even such low power and no ISOs. Again, no ISOs. Should have him as, I don't know, what are we running Deadpool as, like a striker or something? I forget. So that's just a B team. Here we got Nebula. Now, here's where I think you might be wasting this character. You should be farming Nebula and Gamora. If you don't have Phyla-Vell and Moondragon already unlocked, well, it's probably too late to do that. But as soon as they become available and farmable, you should get all 4 of them. The Infinity Watch sisters are amazing. I mean, Nebula's great on defense back in the day because she's so dodgy. She has no attack power whatsoever, but she's really dodgy and she revives and stuff. So you can screw some people up in the beginning, but you should be using her on offense with Gamora and anybody else, even in the beginning. Just farm them up. Infinity Watch is everything. The 4 sisters will carry you through 70% of game content. It's really incredible. So I don't like this one. I'm going to give you a D for this. That's a bad character to be putting in here. Okay, so again, Shield Trooper, what you could be doing is putting a tank on either side of him, and then when either tank is taunting, he's doing some retaliation kills. So you could be doing a little bit better with this defense than what you're doing. That's just a C. Okay, She revives characters, like 10% chance to revive characters on turn. You should put somebody in here that adds some value. See if you've got any other AIM members would help. I'd put 2 of them in here, something like that. Gonna give you a C+ for that. Number 7, now we're getting into a team that you can actually build, right? And again, when you enter war for the first time, you want to be putting all of your resources into war offense, not defense. That's why you've got all those junk teams that we just saw. And you're putting your resources into offense so that you can do damage and help out your alliance. Here is your first defensive team, and of course, you're not going to be using any of these characters on offense. They have almost no offensive value whatsoever, so this is a great place to have them here. At low levels in war, this is still a really good team. They are starting to be countered by like Skilletary, and they can easily be countered at low levels with the X-Force team. But if you're in Silver 3 or Gold 1, you're not going to see a lot of those. Excuse me. So, biggest mistake you've got going on here is you don't have the ISOs. Now, Killmonger does have affinity with the Raider ISO 8, and so that's okay. But on this specific team, you want Skirmisher on Taskmaster, Striker on everybody else. Taskmaster assists on every Merc's attack. And so when he assists, he sets the vulnerable, and then they counterattack, and you get 3 hits out of every single turn instead of 1. And that's a lot better than just getting some more crits out of Killmonger. What I would like to see is you swap places with Bullseye and Killmonger, and yeah, just swap places with Bullseye and Killmonger. Bring up the power levels of Lieutenant and Bullseye to match the others, and you'll have yourself a pretty decent team. A better version of this team is throwing Shuri in here. You can also do the Hela Mercs with Hela and Loki in here. They put defense down. They put spread negative effects all over the place. They blow people up right out of the gates. It's pretty intense. It can be beat also, but again, entry-level war teams, it's pretty good. So, yeah, I'm going to give you a... Man, I really don't like those that you're not using the ISOs. I'm going to give you a C- for this team. Keep into account that Mr. Bargains is entry level. That's why he's getting pretty decent grades for what everybody else is probably screaming, like, why is this not an F? It's because this is what he's doing in his war. All right, and the final team, team number 8, is the Marauders. Let's take a look. I think you're doing almost everything right here. You have Fortifier on Strife. I like that. He's one of the few tanks that you should put it on there. Raider on Sabretooth. He's critting. He is called in for a lot of non-attack assists, and he's bouncing all over the place, so a lot of affinity for Raider. Healer on Emma. You should try and get her to level 5 healer as soon as possible. Makes her incredibly tough to beat. And then you've got Mystique over there as a skirmisher. She is removing and flipping and stuff like that, so that's okay. And then healer on Sinister. So I like what you're doing. I think you got this laid out just right. You get an A for this team. You could get an A+ if you brought in somebody like Minerva. Because where you're at in war, they're going to be coming after this team with Shadowlands. You could do a lot with that if you brought in Minerva. Also, if you happen to have a blob, you could put him in here. Those deflects will help keep them from landing the disrupt on Strife. So you'd swap out Sabretooth with blob. There's lots of little things you can do. Later on, you might put Doom in here. That's a long ways down the road. Of course, we're starting to find some better things to do with Doom. So this is Mr. Bargain's defense review, and I'm going to put some links to the next video, which is going to be Silver Centaurs, and he's at the other end of the spectrum. Recently unlocked Doom and got him up to speed, and we're going to see some pretty interesting things. He's got a lot of stuff going on with his defenses that you're going to be doing at the other end when you are closer to the end game. So if you like what you saw, give a like, hit the subscribe button, and you can always follow me on Twitch. Thursdays, 9 to noon, we do this live, and you can watch me fail miserably at DD4 like I did today. So thanks for joining me. Don't just have a good game, be good to each other too. Thanks. Bye.